Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 27 of the Cleveland Indians franchise here on MLB The Show 21 for the PlayStation 5, and today we have a triple header for you guys, as not only will there be not one, not two, but three series we go through as we look to push towards the All-Star break in the series. So if you're excited for this one and three different gameplays, make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. We start with the Cleveland Indians hosting the Houston Astros, a team that on the channel we are very familiar with. If you watched my MLB The Show 20 franchise, I will link that one at the end of the video because I really enjoyed playing as them. But Bieber's on the mound for Cleveland, and Houston starts off with a pop-up in foul territory by Brantley. And here's a look at their lineup. You got Straw, Yordan Alvarez, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, Yuli Gurriel, Kyle Tucker, Aledmus Diaz, and Jason Castro. Here is the center fielder Miles Straw up next, and he swings a miss on a high fastball, which he will sit down for the second out. And that brings up Alvarez on a 3-1 count, and he launches a fastball deep to right, but Reyes has just enough track to make the grab. On the mound for the Astros will be Zach Greinke on making his 17th appearance on the season. He's been pretty solid as the number 2. He's been the de facto number 1 since Justin Verlander has been on the IL for Houston. Amed Rosario does lead off for Cleveland today, and he has a 3-1 count to begin his day, and will take a questionable ball 4. So Dusty Baker already doesn't like the call. Ben Gamble is up next, but Rosario is going to take off for second. He does steal it. So it's 2-0 now to Gamble with nobody out. 8 stolen base for Rosario on the season. And he lifts a 3-1 fastball into center field. Straw makes the grab, and they think about testing his arm, but do not. Rosario will stay at second. Take a look at Cleveland's lineup for today. It's the usual suspects. Besides Perez, will be at catcher. Hedges currently nursing a minor injury. Jose Ramirez is the one to highlight. He leads the Indians with 21 home runs, and with the home run derby going to be next episode, we'll have to see if we see Ramirez or Reyes in that competition. Speaking of Ramirez, he puts it into center field. It's not a home run, but he gets another RBI as Rosario does score, and Cleveland takes the early 1-0 lead. Francisco Reyes up next, grounder right to the third baseman. He goes around the horn, but Cleveland does have the lead after 1. How about bottom 3 staying with the Indians? Cesar Hernandez is going to lead us off, and he takes a slider deep to right on the first pitch he sees, and he'll go over the wall for a solo home run. Cesar Hernandez, 5th of the season, travels 372, and Cleveland will extend their lead now 2-0 in front of the home fans here at Progressive Field in the bottom of the 3rd. Next batter would be Roberto Perez, 1-0 to Perez, and he gets a nice fastball and lifts it into left center, but Straw's got pretty solid speed. He tracks someone down for out number 1. Rosario up next, check swing does officially go around. That's 2 outs. Greinke gets the K. And then Gamble up next, 1-2 to him. He also will strike out. So Greinke settles down, but not after the solo shot. How about bottom 4 continuing with Cleveland? Greinke gets his 3rd straight strikeout. This time Jose Ramirez will go down swinging. 1-0 to Reyes up next, and he gets a fastball. This isn't a strikeout. This is another Cleveland Indians solo shot. Francisco Reyes to left center. No doubt about this one. It goes 431 for Reyes, is now 22nd of the season. That now leads Cleveland in home run total and also extends their lead. It's now Indians 3, Astros nothing. Still in the bottom of the 4th, Eddie Rosario up next, and he gets a perfectly timed pitch and drives it deep to center. Back-to-back jacks for Cleveland. Another run comes home. It's Eddie Rosario's 12th of the season. And he extends Cleveland's lead to 4-0 now, showing a little bit of pop in this heart of Cleveland's lineup. Fans are loving it, especially against those dastardly Houston Astros. Josh Naylor up next, 0-2 to him. He doesn't hit a home run. Instead, he does strike out. He will be thrown out at first for the second outs. And then Jimenez up next, 1-0 to him. He gets a nice fastball to hit, but pops it up into left. But Cleveland, after 4, now has a 4-0 lead. We will stay with them in the bottom of the 5th now. Cesar Hernandez up next. Nice fastball to hit, puts it into right. That will eat up the right fielder Tucker, and that will be a leadoff single for him. That will also bring in Christian Javier. Zach Greinke's day would end. 4 earned runs in 4 innings for Greinke And Javier on his first batter gets Perez, gets in the jam on the curveball, but he somehow puts it into the outfield for a base hit. And Jimenez gets all the way to third, still nobody out, so another scoring opportunity. And Ahmed Rosario hits it right off of Javier's foot. Runner will come around and score. Rosario is safe. It's 5-0 Cleveland here in the bottom of the fifth. Still nobody out for Cleveland. Ben Gamble up next. 0-1, sits on a curveball, lines it straight into right. Nice sliding grab by Tucker. Perez would tag on it though, but Tucker might have saved another run. Jose Ramirez up next. It's a hit and run. He's swinging at the first pitch, and it's into the right field corner. One run comes around. Rosario was on his horse, and he will score as well uncontested. Cleveland now up 7-0 in the bottom of the fifth. Reyes up next. He draws the walk. Cleveland putting on a show in the fifth. Houston cannot get out of this inning. Full count to Rosario. He walks as well. Back-to-back walks by Javier. Loads the bases. Still only one away for Josh Naylor. He takes it into right field for a base hit. Another run comes around. The other one comes to home plate as well. It is 9-0 Indians, and the route is officially on. Austin Pruitt will come in relief, 4.32 ERA. That's about where you expect from an Austin Pruitt season. His first batter, Jimenez, he will get him looking on a nice changeup on the bottom of the zone. Good pitch by Pruitt. That'll take us to Cesar Hernandez, who has gone yard today. And on the very first pitch of this at-bat, puts it into left field. 10-0 Cleveland. Still only in the bottom of the fifth. Next batter, Perez, gets a nice fastball, pops it up to deep center. But it's now 10-0 Cleveland. So we're going to kind of skip forward in this one out. Just look at the runs. And Reyes adds two more in the bottom of the sixth with a two-run shot to the opposite field. 23rd for Reyes on the season, second of the day. And it is now 12-0 Cleveland Indians. Flex on them. Reyes, you have deserved it. But Cleveland would not be done scoring. Let's go now later in this one where Ryan Stanek will come in for Houston. A solid 2.43 ERA. That's respectable on the season. But they're going to be against Cleveland today, who has been super hot. And in the bottom of the seventh, Perez with a runner on first and second puts it into left. And it gets by the left fielder all the way to the wall. Another run will score. The second one's coming home to the plate. But he is thrown out. So nice cutoff throw. But Cleveland does get one. It is now 13-0. Rosario also in that same inning. He'll shop gap on the very next batter. And that'll take a tumble in right. But it'll be another RBI. 14-0. For the Cleveland Indians. Now in the ninth, Phil Maton would take to the plate, and he would give up a solo shot to Yordan Alvarez. No doubt about it in the ninth. So Houston would not get blanked. Yordan does hit home run number 21 on the season, a 435-foot bomb. As Maton's season still struggles, it just doesn't really matter in this game. But Cleveland does win 14-1 here at Progressive Field. An absolute shellacking of a solid Houston Astros team. This is a very solid win for the Cleveland Indians, as good pitching and good hitting results in the first game of this 4-game set against the Astros. 4 runs on 15 hits for Cleveland, 1 run on 4 for Houston. Bieber pitched another gem. I know we didn't highlight him enough, but he got another win, and Reyes, with his 2 home runs, got player of the game. Take a look now at the second game of the series. We do win this one as well, 6-1. This time a 3-hitter for Houston, as pitcher was Seville. So just going tit for tat with Bieber this season. They have been a solid 1-2 punch. Unfortunately, we do lose game 3 thanks to a 6-run night for Houston. They come roaring back here, 7-1. And the culprits for our pitching staff this time were Maton and Quantrill. Now game 4, we do lose this one as well, 8-5. 7 runs scored in the first inning between the two clubs. So we do split 2-2 against Houston, who now sit 52-33. We're 45-39. Going into the second game of this episode, we travel to the Trop to face the 49-35 Tampa Bay Rays, our first trip to Tampa on the season. This one is a 3-game set. The Rays are one of the teams that we are fighting for in the wild card. And we'll be sending out the lefty Rich Hill to the mound. We'll take a look at Rich Hill's numbers. Here is him making his 17th start, 7-5, 3.83 ERA on the season with a 1.22 WHIP. 36 walks, 79 strikeouts. Not the best walk to strikeout ratio. But he'll also start off his day against Rosario, who will draw a leadoff walk and take his base. 0-1 now to Cesar Hernandez. Rosario is taken off for second. He steals it. So just like another game, Rosario starting to get aggressive on the base pass. That is steal number 9. And then 2 pitches later, Hernandez lays down a bunt in front of the pitcher's mound. A beautiful bunt that gets him a base hit. So now we got runners already on the corners, nobody away. And it's Jose Ramirez. First pitch swinging, perfectly times it on the outer part of the plate and sends it to right center. 3-0 Cleveland to start this one. 22 on the season now for Ramirez. And Cleveland picked right where they left off against Houston, continuing this solid offensive performance. There's still not even an out in the inning. Franmil Reyes up next. 1-0 to him. He chops a nice slider to hit to the shortstop, so that will be the first out. And we will take a look at Cleveland in this ball game. You've seen the first 4 batters. It's about the same lineup. This time Miller at shorts, and Hedges is back in the lineup at the catcher spots. We've already seen 1 home run this game, and Cleveland has 115 on the season. That is 4th, actually, in the American League, so a little bit of pop to this squad. Eddie Rosario up next. 0-2, swings wildly at a slider. That'll be the second out of the innings. He is thrown out at first. And then that'll bring up Jordan Luplow, who is playing today. 2-2 to him. He cannot check his swing. I don't know if that hit his foot or not, but he does go around. But he does make it safe to first, so that's a drop. 3rd strike. Which brings Owen Miller up next. 0-1 to him. He does chop it to 3rd base, though, so that will end the first. But Cleveland did push across 3 for Logan Allen. So a battle of the lefties today. Logan Allen 4-2 on the season. 3.03 ERA. He has definitely overachieved, in my opinion. Been a very solid number 5 pitcher. His first batter will be Joey Wendell, who will ground it to the shortstop, throw down at first. And we'll take a look at Tampa Bay's lineup, which hasn't been overly that impressive this year. You got Joey Wendell leading off, then you got Manuel Margot, and then the ALCS MVP from a year ago, Randy Arozarena. And then Brandon Lau in the 4th spot. But after that, Meadows, Mejia, Adames, Diaz, and Brousseau. Nobody has really lit it up for Tampa Bay. Here is Manuel Margot up next. He will hit it down the left field line. That'll get to Eddie, which Margot tries to take 2, and he actually will be gunned down at second. So nice throw by Eddie to get Margot. It's 2 away now for Randy Arozarena, who 0-2 hits it to the shortstop, and Jimenez will throw him out at first. Actually, it's Owen Miller, excuse me. So Tampa gets nothing in the first, but we'll stay with them in the 3rd. Yandy Diaz leading off. He pops it up into center. First out is recorded by Rosario. Michael Brousseau up next. 2-2 to him, and he gets a hanging curveball drilled deep to left. No doubt about that one. Way up in the stands. 418 feet down the line for Brousseau. His 10th home run of the season gives Tampa Bay their first runs of this ball game as they cut the lead down 3-1 here. Still in the second, still plenty of time for Tampa as long as they chip away at this lead. I'll take us back to the top of the lineup now. Joey Wendell up next. 0-1 pops it up into left. Eddie is there. That'll be out number 2. And then Manuel Margot, first pitch to him. He's going to be first pitch swinging on a curveball. Hits it to center. But Ahmed will put this one away. So 3-1 after 3 innings. We'll go top 4 with Cleveland. See how they respond against that Tampa Bay home run. It'll be Jordan Luplow up first. And we wait no time for our answer. He gets a high 0-2 slider and drills it to about the same spot Brousseau did for his 13th of the season. It goes 4-0-3 down the line, and Luplow gets the run back in no time. Cleveland extends their lead. It's back to 4-1. Owen Miller will step into the batter box next. He gets a slider as well, actually a sweeping curve, and he drills it right off of the pitcher. Nice hit by Miller. Rich Hill would be okay. And he'll get Josh Naylor up next, who turns on a curveball, but hits it right to the right fielder for the first out of the 4th. I'll bring up Austin Hedges, 1-2 to him. He swings through a nice heater up top for the 4th strikeout for Hill on the day. And then Ahmed Rosario, 1-1 to him, hits it to the 3rd baseman. So nothing for Cleveland after the solo shot. But they extend their lead back to 3. And we'll turn it over to Phil Maton in the 6th. Allen only goes 5. And this is a very interesting call given Maton's struggles recently. And the first batter, Joey Wendell, does hit it into center. So already a run on base for Tampa Bay. Margot up next. First pitch swinging. Grounds it to Ramirez, who should have a double play ball but can't field it. That'll be an E5 for Ramirez, and we've seen that a little bit too often recently. So now, nobody out for Randy Arozarena, who hits it deep to left, and he clears the fence. Randy Arozarena will tie it up, his 13th of the season, and once again, a Cleveland infield error proves costly. As instead of a solo shot, this is a 3-run jack, which means it's tied up at 4 apiece. Tampa Bay has come back in this ballgame. Still nobody out. Brandon Lau goes against the shift into the left field corner. An easy 2-bagger for him. And Matan cannot get anybody out. It's still the bottom of the stick. Still nobody out. And that will bring up Austin Meadows up next. 2-1 to Meadows. He hits this one into left field. It's also going to get down. And Lau will score from second. Tampa Bay has the lead. Phil Matan continuing to struggle as he cannot get anybody out. That's 4 straight runs with nobody out. Francisco Mejia up next would get underneath the fastball, so finally Matan will get an out, but the runner on second will tag and head to third base. So another sac fly like that. That's another run for Tampa Bay. Willie Adames 0-2, grounds it to the third baseman, or the shortstop Miller. He fields it, throws him out, but it's 6-4 Tampa Bay now as they just pushed to him another run. And even worse, Jose Ramirez on that dive hurt his finger. It's not necessarily broken, but Ramirez will leave the game, and Jimenez will step in at third base. So one of our top power hitters is now out of the lineup. 2 away, Matang ends the inning, but that is a 5-run 6 for Tampa Bay. They have the lead. Hunter Strickland will come in relief for the Rays, 5.40 ERA through his 8 1/3. He'll start off against Cesar Hernandez in the top of the 7th. Got to see if Cleveland has any sort of answer. And Hernandez gets a nice, perfectly hit fastball to deep right center, and he clears the wall. So Cesar Hernandez again wastes no time getting another home run, his 6th now of the season. He's been swinging a hot bat here to start the month of July, and that's good because if we can get him and Jimenez hitting consistently, this offense will be even better. 6-5 Rays now. Jimenez, speaking of the devil, coming up next, 1-1, gets a nice changed up to hit, pops it up though into left where it'll be caught for out number 1. Up next, Franmil Reyes, 2-2 to Reyes, and he gets a nice fastball and hits it into center field for a 1-out base hit. So he also continues his hot July. Eddie Rosario up next, first pitch swinging, turns on a fastball deep to right field. This one's got a chance, but instead it's still in the ballpark. A crash into the right field wall results in an out. Nice play by the defender. And then Jordan Lupo can't check his swing apparently, and he will go down swinging. So we'll speed forward to the 9th now. Nick Anderson comes out for Tampa. Cleveland are running out of time. They need a run here in the 9th, and Anderson's a very solid closer. Cesar Hernandez will step up 2 for 4 on the day with that home run, and he frustratingly pops up a fastball to the third baseman. That'll be the first out of the 9th. Next up, Jimenez, full count, walk. He will take first base, putting the tying run on board for Franmil Reyes. And he gets a 3-1 fastball. This one's hit into center, but caught. So a runner will stay at first. And now it is all up to Eddie Rosario. 1-1 Rosario, he slaps it into left field. That'll continue this ball game, and Jimenez now will move to second base. And he's got some speed, so we might just need a base hit. And Luplo delivers up the middle into center. He will come home and score 6-6, all tied up. Tampa Bay blows the save in the 9th. Cleveland comes through in the clutch. Jordan Luplo with a nice base hit. Owen Miller, though, cannot push home another run, so we will go into the bottom of the 9th. Looking to hold this lead, Jordan Hicks is your pitcher for Cleveland, and he will get the first out on a 5-3 putout. Willie Adames up next, 3-0, will walk on 4 straight pitches, so the winning run is on first base. Yandy Diaz up next. He swings and misses, and the runner tries to steal second. A gutsy call does not pay off. Fortunately, Austin Hedges would be hurt on the throwouts, but Tampa Bay's winning run on the base paths just went away. Roberto Perez comes in to play catcher, and Yandy Diaz will continue his at-bats, and he will swing on a full count pitch, ground to Naylor, And we're going to extras here at Tampa Bay, all tied up at 6. Now in extras, I kind of just highlight the key plays. I'm not going to go through every single at-bat. But Peter Fairbanks will step in the top of the 10th. And Cleveland, with 2 outs now, Rosario will fly out to center. So Cleveland gets nothing in the top of the 10th, which means James Karinchak will come out in the bottom of the 10th. And the winning run automatically starts on second base. It's not a save opportunity, but Karinchak is probably our most clutch pitcher. And on 2 outs, he draws a walk, putting up Randy Arozarena at the dish, who already went yard. And he will walk as well. Arozarena takes first, which means we have bases loaded, 2 outs for Brandon Lau. First pitch to Lau, grounds it right to Miller, and that will end the 10th. A scary inning for Cleveland. By top of the 11th now, we try to lay down a sacrifice bunt. It works. So now our 7th run is on third base. Jimenez up next, gets a 3-0 count, but he actually gets the green light, and he does hit it into deep left. Now the runner on third will be able to tag and score here. So it's 7-6 Cleveland. They get that run across. Still 2 outs. Franmil Reyes up next. He swings wildly out a slider, but Cleveland does get the run, so all they need now is to hold it. Austin Meadows is the first batter for Tampa Bay. He shoots it to center. Runner will tag and go to third, and he will make it there safely. So now the tying run is 90 feet away, and Tampa Bay will try a suicide squeeze. It works. Runner scores. We are at 7 apiece again. Willie Adames up next. 1-2 swings and misses on the curveball, but that means we're going to the 12th. Cleveland had the run, but Tampa Bay got it back. The top of the 12th is Jordan Luplow with a busted bat. Runner was on third. He will score. So Cleveland takes the lead again. They get that runner across. The 2 outs, Owen Miller slaps it into right field. He's not done in this inning. He wants another run. A little 2-out rally. Josh Naylor up next. 0-1 gets plunked, actually, on the inside pitch. That didn't feel good at all. So now 2 batters on for Perez, and he gets jammed on a fastball, but it falls into the outfield. Runners were going, so that's another run for Cleveland. They take a 9-7 lead now, having a 2-run cushion. Chaz Rowe would come in, try to get this last out, as there's still runners on base for Cleveland. Ahmed Rosario 0-2 swings wildly out a slider, but Cleveland did push across 2, so we'll have to see if that will be enough. Andy Diaz up first. He looks at strike 3. Don't know why he took that pitch. That's Karinchak's 3rd strikeout. He's on his 3rd inning of work and is still looking pretty solid. Now this was a scary curveball hit deep to center, but Rosario has enough space, barely, to record the out. Runner does tag, but now Tampa Bay is down to their last out. It is the number 1 hitter, Joey Wendell, stepping to the dish. First pitch to Wendell. He hits it into deep the right center gap. Ahmed Rosario going after it, makes the grab, and Cleveland is victorious in 12 innings here at Tropicana Field by a score of 9-7. Karinchak pitched 3 good innings in relief in extras, and that gets Cleveland the win in the first game of this 3-game set. As here's the line score: 9 on 16 hits for Cleveland. They left a lot of runners stranded. 7 for 8 on Tampa Bay. They made better use of their hits. Hernandez gets player of the game for Cleveland, and we get a nice win here against a team that we are racing in the wild card hunt. Now checking up on the injuries, Jose Ramirez unfortunately would miss 1 to 2 weeks for a finger contusion, which means we need to call up an infielder, and I think it's time to call up Tyler Freeman, the number 1 prospect in the organization. He hasn't had a lot of at-bats at AAA, only 9 of them, hasn't got a hit in those 9 at-bats, but we're going to give Freeman the shot in the majors, so Tyler Freeman will join the Cleveland Indians. In Game 2, we do win 13-3, and that's because Freeman went yard in his Cleveland Indians debut. What a way to make a statement for Freeman. Game 3, we do lose 5-3, however, to Tampa Bay, so we do take 2 of 3, improving our record to now 47-40 on the season. Next up, we have Kansas City in the 3rd game of this triple header, and we'll take to Progressive Field again to host the 40-46 Royals, who have been hovering at about 500 for most of this season, in the 3rd of 3 games here today. Taking the mound for Cleveland, Zach Plesac. So we will see both the 1, the 2, or the 1, the 3, and the 5 pitchers today. He is 5-5 with a 3.25 ERA on the season. Didn't have a good outing last time we saw Plesac in last episode. Alberto Mondesi will lead off for Kansas City. The speedster hits it up to middle on an 0-2 pitch, which means he has first base, and he is always a threat on the base paths. 3-2 to Isbell up next. He pops it up into left. Eddie will be there for the outs. And we'll take a look at Kansas City's lineup here in this one. We've already seen the top two speedsters, Mondesi and Isbell. Then we'll see Merrifield, Dozier, Lopez, and the former Indian, Carlos Santana, who's hitting .263 last month. Had a pretty solid month of June. And then Ryan McBroom, Salvador Perez, and the former Red Sox, Andrew Benintendi, will round it out for Kansas City. Next batter, Merrifield, 0-2 pitch, pops it up into shallow left, but the shortstop is out to make the second out of the inning. Next up, Hunter Dozier, but Mondesi has a lead, and he's actually going to steal second, so despite us actually looking for it, he does take second base. Hunter Dozier, the leader in the at-bat, can't do anything with the fastball. He will strike out to end the top of first. On the mound for Kansas City is another lefty, Danny Duffy, taken to his 18th start, 4.06 ERA, about 100 total innings pitched so far. His first batter will be Rosario, like always, who this time does not get a leadoff base hit. He will ground out to the third baseman. Here's we'll take a look at Cleveland today. We will see Tyler Freeman today. He is getting the start at second base after his great Cleveland Indians debut. Jimenez is at third. Owen Miller is at short. And the rest are your usual starters. Here is Josh Naylor hitting in the 2-hole today. He draws a 4-pitch walk, taking his first base of the inning. Reyes up next, 2-2 to him. We'll chop it to the third baseman, and they will go around the horn, so that'll end the bottom of the fourth for Cleveland. We will stay with them in the bottom of the second, and Rosario trying to get us started with a nice changeup hit deep to right center that is actually missed by the center fielder. He was playing that like it was a routine ball, and that was actually going to drop. They will record Rosario with a triple. I probably would have called that an error. But now the first run of the game is only 9 feet away, and Luplo will strike out on the next batter, so that won't get it to home plate. Jimenez up next, 2-2, chops it in front of the catcher. Runner is going, and Rosario beats the throw to home. So Cleveland will push one across here in the bottom of the second. Runner still now on first base. Actually tries to take off for second. He is gunned down by Perez. Nice throw. Tags him. And then Miller up next, full count, pops it up into shallow right center. So Cleveland does get one here in the bottom of the second. Sticking with Cleveland, I want to stick with them in the bottom of the third. That's because Tyler Freeman will be leading off. Yes, the top prospect in the organization, and we highlighted a couple episodes ago, is at the majors. He does ground out here. So 0 for 1 on the day for him. Roberto Perez up next, 1-2 pitch to him. He hits this one to deep right center. It's actually going to shop gap. Perez, even with his speed, will get into second base safely for a 1-out double. Takes us back to the top of the lineup. Ahmed Rosario now. High fastball. Tries to put it into right. And gets down. Perez could not tell if he wanted to go on that one. So he only makes it to third. A nice try there for the right fielder. And then we go a little bit of hit and run action here. And actually proves costly as they get doubled up. And we get one in the bottom of the third. And honestly, this one didn't have a lot of offense. It was kind of boring. So we're going to skip to the top of the 8th now. Yes, go all the way to the 8th inning. It's still 1-0. Jordan Hicks will come in trying to set up Karinchak, and he gets the first batter swinging and missing on the high slider. Benintendi up next, 2-2, hits a laser right at Luplo and right. That is a quick 2 outs. And then Alberto Mondesi up next, 1-0, chops it right back to Hicks. So he goes 1-2-3 in the 8th, which means Karinchak will come in for the 9th, looking for his 21st save on the season in 23 tries. He is in the running for an all-star vote, by the way, and he'll start off against Kyle Isbell, 2-0, grounder to Miller at short, first out of the top of the 9th. With Merrifield up next, 2-1 to Merrifield, and he pops it up into foul territory, slams the bat in frustration. That is out number 2, which means it's going to be up to Hunter Dozier for Kansas City. He is 1 for 3 today with a double back in the 7th. He gets the 0-1 pitch. It's a curveball, and he grounds it right to Naylor. Spins and throws it to Karinchak covering, and Cleveland will win this one by a score of 1-0 in the ultimate pitchers duel, taking game 1 of this 4-game series as Cleveland continues to play pretty good ball going into the All-Star break. Not a lot of offense in this one, so good pitching by Plesac. I know we didn't really highlight him, but he did get the win Loss does go to Definitely despite a solid pitching performance, and Karinchak did get the save. Plesac went 7 strong innings, only 4 hits, 5 strikeouts. That nets him a player of the game. Before we go into Game 2, there is a trade between the Mariners and the Red Sox. The Mariners will pick up Chase Shugarts while trading center field prospect Braden Bishop. Just a trade of C overall prospects, so won't really highlight that one too much. But in Game 2, we do beat Kansas City 5-2. Pretty solid performance by McKenzie. And in Game 3, we went 14-2, scoring 12 runs in the first 4 innings. So we take 3 solid games against Kansas City, and we have a chance to sweep them in 4 games. And we do, winning the 4th game 7-2. So we sweep Kansas City in 4, improving our record to 51-40 going into the All-Star break. I'm actually pretty happy of where we are sitting as a squad. I thought we'd be contending, but we're only a half game out of the wild card going into the break. So it is the break, so that means we'll take a little bit of a recording break, but we still have the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game, and I do want to highlight those games. So those will be live streamed in back-to-back days. Home Run Derby will be tomorrow on Friday, All-Star Game on Saturday, right here on the channel. So if you want to watch the streams, pay attention to the uploads, hit that bell down below, and subscribe so you don't miss out on when the stream starts. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.